Alright, here we go. So I'm gonna show you what you can do with just pre-preparation of rights. This is a one card combo, one of the craziest combos you'll ever see. I'm gonna activate it and we're gonna grab Habakiri plus the mirror, and then we're gonna use the Habakiri to actually summon out Saji. Saji's gonna search for the ritual. The ritual is gonna activate to actually send the Kusanagi plus the Sword Serpent. That's gonna activate. Kusanagi is gonna add the ritual back to our hand, and then the serpent's going to summon out onto the field. The ritual is going to activate right here, and then we're going to use the Habakiri on field to summon out Mirakumo. The Habakiri in graveyard is going to activate right here to search, so we're going to search for Futsu, and then we're going to use its effect to summon back onto the field. We're going to use the mirror to then tribute off the Mirakumo. Mirakumo is going to tribute, and then we're going to summon out Futsu. Mirakumo is going to search for prayers and then summon back onto the field, and then we're going to use the prayers to actually tribute off Futsu. Then Futsu is going to activate to actually summon back, and then we're going to search and summon the Aramasa. Aramasa is going to search us a monster. The mirror is going to go back into our deck, and then Futsu is going to search and summon, which we're going to search for another prayers. We could have searched for the trap right here or the prayers. I chose to search for prayers right here. Then we're going to go Internal Flame Banshee, and then Hope Harbinger. So Internal Flame Banshee will search for Ash. We're going to normal summon Ash, and then we're going to grab Poplar from Ash. Poplar is going to summon, and then we're going to grab Divine Temple. We're going to link off the Poplar right here to summon out Linkuriboh. And then that's going to trigger Poplar to go down into the as a continuous spell. Then we're going to use Ash to summon out the Snake Eye, the main Snake Eye boss monster. And then we're going to link the Internal Flame Banshee plus the Flamberge to go into IP Masquerena, triggering the Flamberge to summon Poplar and Ash back out. And then we're going to go into Promethean Princess with the Masquerena plus the Linkuriboh. Then we're going to summon Flamberge back out off of the Promethean Princess to make Flamberge. Use the Flamberge effect to set the IP Masquerena. Use those two to go into Amblo Well. Now right here I just linked off Poplar and Ash. If you want to search DD Crow right there, you could, but if you search DD Crow, basically you're going to have a body in the way, so you're not going to be able to summon IP plus the Flamberge back. So you'll see where that's going to happen. So if you don't want to search it and you want to do the combo exactly how I'm going to do it, and I wouldn't search for it, but you have the option to search it there. So we're going to Moon of the Closed Heavens into Requiem, and then you're going to summon out Lacrima. Lacrima is going to summon out, you're just doing Fiendsmith plays here. You're going to summon out Necroquip, and then you're going to go into DD Wave King Caesar. Now, I don't over summon and start going into stuff like sequence, because I don't want to shuffle back these two cards to make DD Wave King Caesar. So that's why I'm not doing that. I prefer to have those in the graveyard so they'll become a version of Layered Interruption. So we're going to use Snake Eye Die Bellstar to set the Flamberge in the back row. And then right here, if you have room in your extra deck, so like if you took this card out of your deck and you didn't use that to do a search, if this was like something else that you might use, like SP Little Knight, you could go into SP Little Knight right there and have an SP Little Knight, because this you don't really need to bring back. I just brought it back so I'd have a monster here. So you could go into SP Little Knight right there. This will be your one extra deck monster that you can move out of the way to actually facilitate that, because it just searches DD Crow. So my opponent is going to activate this spell or trap. Oh yeah, I didn't even go over my negates. So I'll quickly go over these before I start popping off with like spells and negates and like interruptions. So you have your Linkuriboh in the graveyard, you have Promethean Princess, you have Ash, Poplar, which will both be resummoned off of the Flamberge when it gets linked off. And then we also have the interruption that we're going to get from Fiendsmith, Requiem, and Lacrima, which is going to send a trap, and then that'll be an interruption which will send something off my opponent's field. And then we also have the Amblo Will. So once this card comes back onto the field and they finally deal with it, then Amblo Will is actually going to send itself to the banish pile and then like destroy another monster. So you got 3 removal effects from the graveyard that's going to happen. One from Promethean Princess, one from the Fiendsmith engine, and then one from the Amblo Whale, plus turn your opponent's monster's attack into 0 with Linkuriboh. Then this card is going to special summon back onto the field. When it does, it's going to wipe your opponent's field because it can destroy all the monsters they control, so you got to wipe there. You also have the IP Masquerena, which is going to create you a 3 to 4 material Appaloosa. In this case, it'll be a 4 material. We also have Prayers right here, which will summon something back, and which probably would be Mirakumo to wipe the field, or I could tribute Mirakumo to wipe the field, and then it'll also give me a search off of Mirakumo, and I can also summon back Saji, so I can put this card back into my hand and recycle it. So crazy plays there that you can make. A couple searches plus, I mean, literally 2 searches plus a board wipe and a recycled this card back into the hand. I will go plus so much by just doing that. Then you have 3 interruptions with Hope Harbinger. If they clear your Wave King High Caesar while this card's on the field, basically it gives it a boost to attack. And why is that important? Well, because this card has another effect, which if they try to attack something on your board, you can change the target to Hope Harbinger, and then when you change it to Hope Harbinger, basically you perform the damage calculations from there. So it can prevent them from just attacking into your Appaloosa whenever it gets low. So you can use all of the Appaloosas negates without having to worry about it getting hit first for attack, and this will be boosted if they clear your High King Caesar. Then you have 2 special summon negates with Wave King High Caesar, and then each time you negate, you put one of these into the graveyard. One of these 2 monsters, which will be basically send Fiendsmith Engraver first, and then that becomes your follow-up. If you do decide to link off Hope Harbinger, which is fine, you can link it off if you want to make it part of your 4 materials. So in this case, I would stop Harpy's Feather Duster. You can actually bring this card back and use it to make plays again by actually setting it back here off of Flamberge, and then use Flamberge to summon it back on your opponent's next turn to use it again. So you can actually do that. Then you got your that doesn't count because that was not searched or done through the combo. And then we're going to use Prayers to wipe my opponent's field. We also have this, which is going to actually summon our Flamberge when they special summon something. Yeah, it's a lot of shit we can do. A lot of plays. So yeah, let's hit play on this and watch this play out. So we're gonna stop the Harpy's Feather Duster. We're gonna use Mirakumo right here to force them to resolve an effect to actually set this card. So they have to discard. They have Millennium Ankh in their hand. They're gonna summon, and then they're gonna add the rock monster. Now the reason they're doing this, the reason they're adding this card particularly, is because they don't want me to be able to negate the effect of Millennium Ankh. So I have to stop this card, which is what I'm going to do. So don't worry. So Flamberge gets summoned off of this card summoning right here. And then IP Masquerena, we're going to link all of these off to Appaloosa. And what that'll do is that'll prevent them from ever being able to actually get that card onto the field unless they can get Ouiju Temple on the field. So now I'm just kind of doing the following based off of like how the combo actually flows like naturally. And then if you noticed, I waited to do the Lacrima play until after I had already done my Snake Eye play, so then that way I would have room on the field. Because if I did this first, I wouldn't be able to summon both Snake Eye Flamberge plus the IP Masquerena. So he's going to activate Triple Tactics Thrust, and then he's going to link this off into Typhoon. Now, because he goes into Typhoon, I have to stop this card because basically it stops most of my, like, it'll stop me from being able to use Appaloosa because it can't activate because it's over 3200 attack. It also like stops me from being able to deflect attacks with Hope Harbinger because this one won't be able to activate it either. But I still have other cards to deal with this, right? So I can just simply negate it with Impermanence, but I want to save Impermanence for his Millennium Ankh. So when he goes Millennium Ankh, if he decides to do it, what I could do is I could use the Lacrima, or not Lacrima, but the Fiendsmith in Paradise to actually send Desiree. When I send Desiree, it's going to then allow me to send the freshly summoned Exodia. But of course, when he summons Exodia, he is going to chain the effect to the Fiendsmith in Paradise. But I will have the Impermanence to actually negate that. So that's my thinking there. But if I didn't have Impermanence and he did that anyways, I still have Appaloosa, which I could just use Appaloosa to negate his effect to actually try to stop the Fiendsmith in Paradise. So I still have what I need even if I didn't have Impermanence. So I'm gonna just go ahead and pop that with Promethean Princess. Like, he is so cooked. There was nothing he could do but just take a loss. This man was like literally so cooked. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and like how crazy this deck actually is. Like, this is turn 3 or 2. This is turn 2. This is on his turn. My entire field is built up with monsters and plays for days. I literally have plays, follow up. I have everything. I got hand traps. Like, I got a board breaker that literally, if he breaks my board completely, I have a board breaker that if he uses monster effects to interrupt, I can literally drop that board breaker and wipe his field of all of the monsters that he activated. So like, this deck does so much. It does so much. I literally search for a board breaker through just the normal combo that's already pretty broken. So hey, catch y'all on the next one. Peace.